We've been keeping track of higher education right now of college closings. Enrollment has been falling for more than a decade. Right now, colleges are closing at a rate of nearly one a week. At the same time, faith in the value of higher education has been declining. Under the Biden administration, there was a massive screw up in the FAFSA filing forms, which is probably looking like it's leading to lower enrollment in freshman classes. But we also have a president who's really been pushing loan forgiveness. We also have a Supreme Court that radically changed the way schools can admit students based on race as a result of the recent affirmative action decision. So now we have some questions about what you would see in a higher administration under both Biden and under Trump. Would loan forgiveness disappear? What would you like to see? What would you expect? Ian, I'll let you go first on this one.
Well, a couple of things. From a K-12 perspective first, I mean, one of the things, again, I now run high schools, so one of the things I think we have to acknowledge is that we have to accept the fact that a college experience immediately after high school is not necessarily always the best option. We're seeing more and more career and technical education programs in high school where you could become a welder, an electrician, a carpenter, opportunities in healthcare where you can become credentialed at the end of your senior year, then actually enter a job immediately, earn some money. And there's some great MDRC studies that show, particularly for young men, young Black men, that if they were able to get a credential, work for a few years, then went back to college, much higher rates of college completion, much lower interaction with the criminal justice system, far lower rates of non-marital births. And so this idea that the passage into young adulthood, we just have to widen the aperture that college does not need to be the only option. So I just want to say that. In terms of loan forgiveness, I think the issue that the Biden administration has faced is, the concept of loan forgiveness always is good. It's all in the details. If it seems that loans are just forgiven in a way that you're being selective as to, well, why is it that this group of people who worked hard to work their way through college, suddenly they're seeing other people who, pursued degrees or other things that made it so that they didn't finish, and now there are the forgiveness for them. I think there's a sense of unfairness. So I don't think you'll see the kind of, under a Trump administration, I don't think you'll see the type of loan forgiveness that the Biden administration has pursued. And frankly, I think even if Harris wins, I think they would change dramatically how they've tried to implement this, because they've faced a number of losses, and I think rightfully so. So I think they would change the way that they would do loan forgiveness, actually.
Harris was a strident champion of the debt cancellation. I think it's unclear, was she doing what good vice presidents do, going around the country championing it, or is she going to change her policies? I hope when she wins, she does change her policy, because it's been a political and policy disaster. It has enraged people who paid their way, who felt as it was unfair. Leading economists are pretty consistent. We don't have a college affordability problem in this country, that there is a college for you. If you want to go into lots of debt, that's your choice, but there's a college for you. And in this economy, the debt is retirable. And on a policy level, it's not what the higher ed community wanted. My friends in the segment of small independent private colleges that don't have big endowments and don't have state subsidies much prefer to see doubling of Pell, which is targeted so that students without means can get an education. And those schools consistently do better with four-year graduation rate, higher career placement. So that said, Liz, you asked a question about college closers. Shame on higher ed. And I've got to be careful, because, I spend my day job working to support professors, to equip them with effective teaching practices so that they can be more impactful with their students. But there are between 40 and 50 million Americans with some college but no degree. Mm-hmm. That is 3 to 4 times larger than the current 15 million student enrollment. Adapt or change, and if you don't adapt, then closure is probably appropriate.
Yeah, closure is not always, yeah, agreed. Closure is not always a bad thing. And it also depends what is the alternative that some people are pursuing, and if it might be apprenticeships or other
Yeah.
opportunities.
Ian, I'd be curious about your views on that, because my anxiety is white middle class, Asian middle and upper class continue to go straight to college, get the BA, get the $1 million average lifetime earnings bump. And inequitably, it's poor Black and brown men and women who are being directed off the college track. And you had a big if in your statement. If they go back to college, that's a big if.